I wasn't doing very good in the Japanese school. I had complications because I'm mixed, right? A lot of. I feel like I'm more on the Russian side.
Yeah.
She started crying. She was just upset.
Why? Some reason, like I don't know, like that's the wrong way to start a podcast, I guess. Anyways, cheers.
Cheers.
It's coffee, but works, I guess. Hey. So your middle name is Sasha, right?
No, actually, my full
No?
name is Alexandra, and Sasha is just a short name of Alexandra in Russia.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know. I know Sasha is a Russian name, but I didn't know that that Sasha is Alexandra. That's the
yes.
short version.
Yes.
Okay. And you're half Japanese,
Half Russian. Yes.
right?
My mom is Russian and my father is Japanese.
I see. And how did they meet? If I can.
We met a long time ago
Yeah.
in Japan.
Okay, nice. You said you grew up. This is very interesting. When we were talking, you said you grew up in Japan, but you don't consider Japanese your first language.
Yeah, because basically all my life I'm here in Japan, but I actually went to the Japanese school for first 3 years of primary school, but then I transferred to the Russian school, and since then I was studying in Russian school.
So you got all your education in Russian.
In Russian, yes. Basically, I can say that my Japanese level is the level of grade 3. I hope it's a little bit more, but basically, writing wise, maybe.
And why did your parents decide to move you to a Russian school?
Actually, I wasn't doing very good in the Japanese school. I had complications because I'm mixed, right? A lot of problems, and I hated it.
Wow.
Yeah. And here in Russian school, they had a lot of people like me, like halves. It was more international.
I see.
So, yeah.
And when you finish like high school in this Russian school, can you apply for other universities or colleges in Japan, or you just have to go to Russia to finish your advanced degrees?
Actually, it was possible because I was considering doing university here, but the problem was that the Russian school has 11 grades and Japanese has 12 grades.
Oh,
Yes, and in some university they require 12,
12
years
years,
of
right?
education. Yes.
I didn't know that. Russian school is only 11 years?
Yeah.
Interesting. And so, what did you do for
Oh,
university?
I went to another country.
To another country?
Yeah, I
Just-
went to Cyprus.
Cyprus. Interesting.
Yeah, Turkish side of Cyprus.
Turkish side
Yeah,
of
because it
Cyprus.
has Turkish side, the north is Turkish and the south is Greek, and I went
Yeah.
to the Turkish.
To the
one.
Turkish side.
Mm.
Okay. What did you study there?
Studied tourism and hospitality management.
So basically what you're working in right now.
Yes,
Right.
true.
And how do you see your education being related? Is everything you studied, did it really prepare you to this industry?
I mean, some things
Yeah.
I can say that some things help me, but
I think working in tourism and hospitality is very tricky. You're working with people.
yeah.
People are generally speaking difficult, right?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what is, like, let's say, one thing that you learned in school that actually helped you?
I think things like programs.
Problems?
Programs.
Programs.
Yeah, like in hotel, if you work in a hotel, there are some programs that you need to use.
Like software?
Yeah, kind of like
really?
hotel connected, and also like maybe some terms, some rules, and some standards, maybe some calculations, and this kind of things. Yes,
They
we
were
use
useful.
them. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because many people like go to, and this is, I think, especially for Japan, you go to school for one thing, and then you work in a completely different thing.
That's
And
true.
then the things that you studied at college are not very useful, but for you, it's not the case. It's what you studied basically is
Yeah,
the
because
same
I
industry.
wanted to try.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe this is not for me, but I wanted a challenge because also at my work I need to speak to people, and this is what I'm not very good at. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
Listen, you chose something that you were not good at.
Yeah, because I like to go in a difficult way.
Nice, I guess. Uh, but yeah, again, like, why did you really, like, seriously, why did you choose like this kind of like hospitality and even though you're not good at it, you said you like the challenges.
Yeah.
Was there something interesting about it that you wanted?
Like tourism industry, I was always interested. Hotels and international things, and it was just interesting for me. But of course, when I was studying it, I realized it's not actually what I thought it is. Of course,
There's also other things that come
Yes.
along with it. Yeah.
but I was like, okay, let's see in real life how it's gonna go.
Were you always like a people's person?
What do you mean?
Like you like people, you like talking to people, and you have a lot of friends. You hang out with a lot of friends and stuff like that, or no?
No,
Not really.
because as I said, I was studying in a Japanese school, and then I had complications. So I was actually a very reserved person, a very reserved person. But yes, and then when I started to like going to Russian school, making friends, then university, very different. Right, then came back, and right now I like to talk to people, but I'm still shy. Yeah, so I'm trying to overcome this.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I guess you're this way. You're like in the right industry, right? So it fits your
Helps
aspiration, I
me.
guess.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
Okay. If there's some difficult situation that you found yourself in while working, do you remember like a specific like situation that was kind of a bit challenging for you, or it's just like basically normal things?
Yeah, to talk to people is challenging. So,
Yeah.
but the problem is that like they have different guests, right?
Oh.
Like crazy guests, of course. I think everywhere. in the
Usually you
world.
have those, yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah. And also, I found it difficult to tell something, to tell people to do something. Like, oh, for example, for the dress code. Like sometimes I need to make them wear the jacket or stuff like that. And it's not just talking. It's not like, oh, how are you today? It's actually you need to explain, and some guests can react differently.
Yeah, I hate dress codes to be honest. Like whenever there's a dress code, I probably will not go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like if you're wearing decent, if you're not wearing like a homeless person, then it should be fine.
Oh,
Don't you think so?
well, yeah, I agree.
But I guess like at certain levels, like you really have to wear a suit
jacket.
or whatever. Have you saw the Trump's when Trump received Zelensky in the White House, and and he was like, "You're not wearing a suit,
A suit, yeah.
right?" It was so hypocritical, to be honest. I don't agree with Zelensky in many things, but Elon Musk was right there wearing like a t-shirt and looking like a homeless person, and nothing was said to that
That's
dude,
true.
right?
That's true.
So
yeah.
this is like the double standards that I keep thinking. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it just messes with me. Are these occasions like kind of a lot? Do you work with like dress codes and these kinds of
Yes,
things?
because I work in a fine dining.
Oh, fine dining
Yeah.
dress codes. Yes.
Yes. So
Do people come wearing not so nice sometimes?
yeah, sometimes, especially in summer, it's hot. They don't want to wear suits. and
Right.
I understand them, but at the same time, we have a dress code, so you know,
So if someone came without a jacket, for example,
yeah.
and they don't have a jacket on them, do you just
Oh, we have
refuse?
no, we have rental ones. So I need to make them wear the rental jackets.
So you're going to wear it. We'll give you one and you'll pay for it.
No, they will not pay for it.
They'll- I see. That's very interesting.
We don't have the rental trousers though, so they need to buy them if they want to come.
Yeah, I mean, if you're If you're wearing a t-shirt and a shirt, probably not a place in a fine
Yeah,
dining, probably,
yeah.
right? Okay, what is the thing that you really love about your job? Something that you really enjoy?
I will say the same thing.
Talking to people? Come
Yeah.
on.
No, because
Okay. Yeah.
okay, at the workplace, I learned a lot of things
Mm.
because actually it's my first official job after graduating from university.
When did you
I
graduate?
graduated like almost 2 years ago, almost.
I see.
And I came back to Japan, and then I found this job, and it was like my first official, not part-time job at first. So of course I found it very difficult, but also I learned a lot of things also between the communication between employers, employees, and everything. But also it's fun. It's fun working there.
It's a fun one.
Every day something crazy happens, and you need to deal with it.
Um, Finding a job in Japan for foreigners is a challenging process. However, you're not foreigner, you're half.
Yeah.
Was it any different for you, or how was it for you?
To be honest, Japanese people don't treat me as a Japanese person.
That's what I see. They don't treat half people as, or at least not all half people like Japanese. What do you think?
Depends.
Is it depends,
I
right?
think it depends on the person as well.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like I'm more Russian, on the Russian side.
Yeah.
Not 100%, but this is how I grew up.
Uh-huh.
So some things the Japanese people see, they don't consider like Japanese, and then they treat me as like a complete foreigner,
Foreigner.
right? So yeah,
So you use the gaijin card?
I can sometimes, sometimes, yeah, sometimes. When it's good.
I abuse it. わかんなかった。すいません。
あ、ごめんなさい。
I remember this was one day, and I felt like such an asshole afterwards, like, because I really didn't know about what was happening. So, do you know Tsukuba line? Tsukuba sign.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it stops in Akihabara, it goes all the way to Tsukuba.
Okay.
And the rule is, so there's an actual rule. If you came, so because people like, there are stations along the way
Okay.
that you can just come to Akihabara because it's the last station,
Okay.
and then go back, right? Because if you're going all the way further, if you ride in one of these middle stations, you cannot sit. So some people just ride, come back to Akihabara, don't go down, and go all the way back, right? So what I did, I never heard the announcements, even though they repeat it on the speakers. I never heard it. I never once concentrated on what they were saying. So there was one day I was just sitting. I came back, I was tired after work. I was sitting, and then the Eki-san basically told me like, you have to get off. I was like, why? And he was telling me like, because if you came back from the other line, you have to get off for people to get in. For some reason, I thought he was just being mean to me.
Oh.
And I completely ignored him. I was like, no, I cannot get off. I'm tired. I didn't know about this rule. And then he was really kind and really nice that he just left me. He's just like, I don't want to deal with this asshole. He just left me. And at that point, I was an asshole. And if you ever get to see this, I'm very sorry. I did not mean to be an ass. But yeah, it was one of those days. I still regret that I did that, but that was one of the times I used my gaijin
How
card, I
would you
guess.
know? Do they say it?
Yeah, it's always like after that day, it's always on the speakers. Like I heard it. For people on the train, you have to get off and basically stand in line again. Like they say it in Japanese, they say it in English, and I completely did not listen to anything.
I see.
It was, yeah, it was one of those days that. Have you had any situations like this? Maybe not as horrible as mine, but have you used it somewhere, sometimes like this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have, but
You don't want to talk about.
maybe something smaller, like
Yeah.
breaking the small rules. But also, there are so many rules that I don't know all the rules.
Yeah.
If I cannot stand there or do this, like
Yeah.
Or maybe I just don't read.
Like in Japanese, they say kuki o yomu, right? Like
Oh,
reading the air,
yeah, yeah.
right? I thought I could read the air, but in more, one more than in more than one occasion, I just proved like I could not read the air. In one of those situations, we had like a party with with customers, like VIP customers. So I kind of work with. It's not hospitality, but I work with what we call them key opinion leaders,
Okay.
which are like VIP customers of the company. And my job is to communicate with them and do events together, do stuff together. Like,
Interesting.
anyways, in one of those days, we had to go pick up this big professor from the hotel, professors, because they were a group, and then go to have dinner in a restaurant nearby. I go there and I see one of the professors sitting with two of the employees of the company that I work in. For some reason, I did not read the room very well. He was very upset and just complaining about many things, and I just went there and sat next to them. And I'm like, and as soon as I said, I'm like, oh, oops, I want to get out of here, you know. Hi, like, so it was also one of those days like
Did you leave?
I wanted to, but if I left, it would have been more awkward. As soon as I saw somebody coming that I know, I was like, "Hey!" I immediately left. It was very one of the most awkward situations that I've ever been in. But yeah, anything like that happened to you, like awkward situations where you couldn't read the room?
No, not really.
No,
No.
I mean you have Japanese, so you probably can read the air better than me. But it was,
Yeah, I wouldn't just sit
I
like
was
that.
like, "Hey!"
Well, maybe he was scolding then, and then he couldn't scold them. And then
No, no, he continued.
Oh, he
No,
continued.
yeah, he kept going,
Oh,
and that's why I was like, God damn it, I need to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. But it was funny. It was funny because I I almost started laughing because it was so awkward. I'm the kind of person that when the situation is really really bad, I start laughing, and that was gonna make it even worse. So I was just like, oh my God, I need to be out of here. I cannot believe I'm here. But anyways, yeah. Uh, r- Again, you're gonna say talking to people, but like, if there is something that people like, always when you look at the hospitality industry or the tourism industry, people looking at it from the outside and people working in it might have different views, right?
yeah.
So, what do you think is the biggest difference for people that don't understand this industry? People, an outside person that will never understand what's happening inside. What's your inside look on this? Is there like an inside take that you have? Take your time. Take your time.
No, that's a very difficult question. I mean, if you once have worked in a hospitality industry, you will know what's going on immediately. Wherever you go, like you can see some stuff after
Like what?
like
Because he's like, I want to know.
like you know about service, like what's actually going on. You can understand things. But if you didn't, a customer comes, okay, your order is late, okay, some problem happened or whatever. They don't have any idea what's going on, right? They say, okay, I'm coming, I'm paying, I need to get this. But they're right. Yes, they
Yeah.
are paying.
Yeah.
But also, they have no idea what's going inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think even if they knew, they would care. Like, they would
Actually,
still want my
yeah.
thing, right?
Actually, yeah.
Did any crazy stories happen to,
These stories, like,
yeah,
what do you mean by crazy?
crazy, anything crazy? Anything you're like, damn.
Actually, we don't have that many crazy people in fine dining. because I don't know why, but not that many maybe. Yeah, like people coming and shouting, this is normal. This is like
Really?
not that crazy.
Shouting is normal?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think in Japan people are a bit more kinder, a bit more polite.
but we have a lot of foreigner
Yes.
customers. Yes, like I think even more foreigners than actually Japanese guests.
Uh-huh. That's why there's shouting.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's normal.
Oh, sorry. Did they ever did people fight in the restaurant or something? Couple fights?
Oh, a couple fights. Yeah, it happened. It happened. Yeah, a
happened?
couple fights. Standing and leaving in the middle of the dinner or lunch. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, this is what I want. Yeah, this one. Yeah.
No, it wasn't like a fight, but it wasn't in my restaurant. It was like in another restaurant in the same building. Um, there was supposed to be a proposal.
Ooh.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Because we have like a very nice table near the window and everything. The guy prepared everything, like pre-ordered, like a cake, flowers, whatever things they could prepare. Okay, all good, all prepared for now.
Yeah.
And then, we were excited, like waiting for them, like, oh, they're gonna come, oh, so cute, okay. Then they arrive. A guy in a suit looks very nice, and a lady wearing like sweatpants, like, as if she just woke up.
To the gym, probably.
Yeah.
To the gym.
And we were like, and then they say the reservation name. We are like, oh, is it? Oh, really? Like,
Okay.
okay, yeah. Maybe there more. Maybe she didn't know, or like.
Well, probably
right. It's a
yeah.
surprise. So,
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
can happen. Then they go by the table, and then I think she started realizing what's going on, and then her face was like, not the best. I think not.
She
the
got upset?
happiest. So basically, the guy made the proposal,
Yeah.
but
She refused.
I don't even think she refused. Maybe I am not sure if she said yes or no, but she started crying. But we thought she's crying from happiness, but she was just upset.
Why?
I don't
Why?
know. I don't know.
This is strange. Why would you cry?
She just got upset,
Yeah.
and then she left. Okay, she left, and she said she's going to bathroom, but
Okay.
actually
She just
she
left.
just left. But we didn't see her leaving. She just because there's like you can make a round and go to the elevators without us seeing her leaving. So you can just actually like hide and go to the elevators. But we didn't know anything. Then the guy comes and he's like, "Where is she?" Oh, maybe she's in the bathroom. Oh, can you check? Nothing. I wasn't like involved, but
You saw it happen.
yeah. And then actually, basically, she just left. And then he started screaming and shouting and almost fighting the managers that how could we let her leave? Yeah, but we don't know
What do you
happened
mean?
after. Yeah, what are we supposed to do?
Are they Japanese or
Yeah,
they're Japanese?
it was funny and sad.
This is one of those funny moments, sad moments. But yeah, for some reason, like I think hospitality, because you're dealing with people, there'll always be like kind of crazy. Can you?
Oh,
Yeah, just
yeah, this.
okay. There will always be like kind of crazy stories because people,
Yeah, people,
people,
right?
Yeah. But if someone is interested in working in this industry, what is something that they have to keep in mind always? That, if this is not for you, you should not be in this industry. So there's a podcast or like a YouTube channel like Abba and Preach. I don't know if you know them. Like two guys who keep commenting on videos and whatever. And then one of them, I think Preach, used to work in a hotel.
Okay.
And he always has crazy stories about stuff that happens in there. So from I don't know, from my perspective, if you cannot keep your mouth shut, you should not be working in these industries, especially if you're working with like pretty famous people. Is this something that you ever thought of, or like just people keep talking, whatever?
But that's true. Yeah, it's one of the things you need. Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, because I think I would not be able to work.
Why?
I have something to say. I'll be like, today I saw this guy and I saw that. I'll probably talk to my friends about it.
It's okay to talk to your friends. Huh? So maybe it's not the job for me too.
Um, but yeah, like I don't know, like it also depends on what happens, right? And who is involved, and like I don't know, like there's a video that's circling now online. Macron and I don't know, other prime ministers. They said like they were having coke or whatever, and that in a train, or I don't know.
Okay.
So I think if you have people on that level,
Yeah.
people working around them should really not say anything, right? It's and I don't know, like, are there levels to this? Like, for example, like only certain employees will be working with certain VIPs or something like that, or no?
No, but like, of course, if there's a VIP, the manager will take care of them.
I
Yeah. But I'm a receptionist, so
So you don't have to deal with any of that.
I want everyone and no one at the same time.
Right. So just a few questions that I have is like in Japan, for example, if somebody that wants to work in Japan in the hospitality or tourism industry, how difficult is it to get into this industry?
To get in.
Because I think Faye had to learn Japanese to a very high level or whatever, and she was studying Japanese language and stuff like that. Um, I don't know. You are half Japanese, so I guess like that qualifies you to work. But let's say someone that just right now is not in Japan wants to come to Japan and work in this industry. What are the things that they need to do in order to?
First of all,
Obviously,
Japanese
oh, Japanese.
language.
That's the first.
That's the most important, I think. Yeah.
And to what level?
At least to be able to communicate in a polite way in Keigo with
I
the
cannot
customers.
speak Keigo. I've been here for 12 years. I cannot do that. So you speak Keigo?
I'm trying to.
This gives you an idea, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it's very difficult because you need to know when to speak from down to up and from up to down, and it's depending on the situation who you're talking to. It's very complicated. It's not just you learn some basics and then you speak, but also if you want to work here, you need to know the Keigo for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with customers, you probably should start with that. Any other skills that are important for working in this industry, except then being able to take people very slowly and be understanding, probably?
Yeah, understanding. I don't even think understanding is
Is the the right one?
key. Maybe like you need to just be very calm and you need to like deal with the stress. Good. Yeah. It's a very stressful work.
Very stressful one?
It's not that easy as people think.
Yeah. I can only imagine if you have like a great customer. Then dealing with this great customer should be so much fun, right?
Very fun.
Have you had any great customers?
Well, yeah, but also not that much. I also feel like female, like is because I'm a female. For me, it's a bit easier to deal.
Really?
Yeah, like for example, in Japan, I think there is like, they're very traditional and everything. So even at my job, if there is a possibility for me to talk to the guest rather than a guy talk to the guest, if like something happened, it would be better if,
You talk to
yeah,
a lady.
yeah.
I see. I always thought it was the opposite. I thought like if you talk to the opposite sex, it becomes a bit easier because it's, I don't know. I guess people calm down when they're. So if I'm dealing with a guy, I'll probably go all out. I wouldn't care. But if I'm dealing with a lady, then I'll just kind of maybe
Maybe,
tone it down a little bit.
yeah,
But I don't know. Like you're working and you know better. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
I was talking about the male customers actually, because female customers, we don't have that much crazy female customers.
Really?
Yeah. Did you?
See, social media is wrong. Social media is messed up because most of the viral clips, crazy ladies are on those. Not so much like there are crazy men, but proportionately speaking, like there are a lot more ladies going all out in like in restaurants and hotels and airports. Like there are crazy men, obviously, but I think just proportionately, or maybe just the algorithm gives me crazy ladies. I don't know. So that's why I thought like there will be like a lot more
Yeah, maybe opposite sex.
Karens, right? Karen.
Yeah, Karens. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like this is why there's the word Karen.
Karen.
So
True.
how do you deal with Karen?
I don't know.
No one knows. I think no one knows. You just gotta kind of. You know who I feel sorry for? The guys who are with Karens.
Oh.
Sometimes it's just like you can see in his face. He's just like, I don't know what to do. They're just like,
I think they're so done with it, so they just don't want to like get involved, and they just
yeah, they just like wait it
whatever
out.
you say.
Yeah, let's just move this along,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Uh, I'm gonna put her Instagram. Oh, but your Instagram is private, right?
You can still
Anyways,
put it.
I'll put her Instagram. You can follow her. Then she accepts it.
I'll think about it.
Anyways, yeah. Thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
so
today.
much.